Welcome to the Penance Halloween special, this time with Mystery Fantasy Dungeon 9000 or MFD9k. So, who are you? What are you? And where do you come from? Starting at the top with a fire.
Hi there, name's Jess. I'll be playing Afia tonight. She's a dual sword wielding tiefling thief. And she's just basically going out on her own, trying to look for some adventure, look for some kills, and seeing what all she can get into trouble with along the way.
Okay. Next we have Aliquid Ray.
Hi, I am Jesse. I will be playing Aliquid Ree, who is just looking to make friends and have a good drink.
Okay. Next is Avi.
Hi, I'm Heather. Tonight I'll be playing Avenson Colnbluth, or AV for short, and she is a half-drow fighter.
And next we have Dante Cesar.
Dante Cesar is a halfling rogue who's all about the acrobatics.
And finally, we have Cole.
Hi, I'm Becky, and I'll be playing Ko. She is a tabaxi thief and slash engineer.
So, your tale begins that you have all answered a response to a basically appeal for work that was put up on the wall inside a tavern. And as you all arrive in this inn to basically meet with this patron effectively, a man in relative finery arrives. He looks like he works as a he's wearing sort of a long leather coat. He looks like he's used to going out in all weathers, and he looks like he's got a sort of rugged look to him. He introduces himself as Christoph Raducan, and he tells you that the target in question is one of his best beast hunters called Wilfred Barsh. Now, Wilfred left a month ago, almost to the day, to journey to the village of Dorohursk, which is not known for much. It's in the shadow of one of the old royal castles, but it's only really known as for turnip production and the castle that used to be there. The reason that he left to go there was that the villagers had continually, for the last 6 months, been sending really badly spelled letters to basically this guild of beast hunters to say, "We have a vampire! We have a vampire! We have a vampire!" And they are sure they have a vampire. Now, as we're all aware, it's very quiet for beast hunters this time of year, so Wilfred took it upon himself to journey to this small village and see if he could find what happened. But for the last 2 weeks, they have not heard anything from him. And they would like you, as adventurers, to travel down and just see if you can find anything there. So, as he looks to all of you, he offers to pay you all around 100 gold each for your travels, which is, he sort of smirks, and you know to yourself it's a lot less than they'd have to pay for a proper beast hunter to go down there. But, payment's pretty good. He looks to all of you and asks, do you have any questions before you set off?
Yeah, can I get a refill?
And the sort of slovenly barman walks over, puts a very, let's call it, filthy coloured pint in front of you and walks back off.
Thanks.
What does this guy Wilfred look like?
He is, he's in his early 40s, quite a reputation of being quite a renowned beast hunter. He again wears the sort of black leathery kind of garb you'd see for most beast hunters, the sort of long black leather cloak, the sort of wide brim hat, the usual standard thing, and he carries quite a large crossbow.
Alright, sounds distinctive enough. Do you know anything? Well, obviously you know things about fighting vampires, that's your job, but any advice for us, should we come across any?
Christoph looks for a few minutes pondering, and then he tells you that as far as he's concerned, if there was a vampire, far more people would be dead than actually is. And there would be far more of an outcry, and they would have sent someone far sooner. This village has been sending these letters for 6 months now, and anyone that had a proper vampire, there would have been a more sense of urgency, whereas these seem to be the same generic letters sent with different spelling mistakes every time. And yeah, they don't think there's a threat there, but they're very confused why one of their beast hunters has just gone missing.
Okay, that's interesting.
You said that no one that's been sent has come back.
It's only the one person they've sent, and it's the last 2 weeks, and maybe just into 3 weeks, they've lost all contact with him. It's like he's either not replying to their letters or he's not getting their letters.
If you're so certain it's not a vampire, do you have any reasonable explanation for why he hasn't come back? Or why anyone would send these letters if there wasn't that kind of...
Villages, he sort of strokes his beard and says, well, these kind of villages, since the royal family passed away, God rest their souls from plague a few years ago, these villages have been in need of tourism. And, sending a proper vampire hunter to this village would, bring people out of the woodwork to come see them. I mean, vampire hunting is something that people love to witness, especially if they love being in the zone. It seems to be a craze going round that people love to be involved in, shall we say, in a vampire hunt.
Basically making it into spectator sport.
Yeah, it's not something that should be a spectator sport, but a lot of people recently have been, following the vampire hunters just to watch what they do and drum up support and things, and it can bring a lot of money to a village if, one appears. This is the main reason why we ignore a lot of villages, especially one that just sends us, we know we have a vampire. We have no reason to suspect they have a vampire. But they've been consistent. They've sent us a letter every week for 6 months.
Has it been the same person sending letters, or have they got the whole town in on?
They seem to have been signed by a member of the council called Jacob. Now, this is all we know, because he seems to be this one that sends all these letters, but his spelling is abysmal. It's like he's never properly been taught to spell, but he seems to work in the council.
Well, with the sound of the downfall of the royal family, I'd assume certain areas probably weren't receiving the same type of education funding like the royals did.
Well, you see, when the royal family were there, more people cared about little villages like this. The royal family might occasionally go out to this castle and just be nearby, and this would bring in the tourists, and we all wanted to meet them and see them, and these villages got a sort of kickback of gold for it. Whereas now, with the royal family, God rest their soul, being dead for so many years, the money's dried up from that.
So they have to find a new way to make money.
Exactly. Which is why this vampire sport seems to become a desirable thing for a village.
Well, either way, if it's a vampire, you get to kill it. If it's somebody playing kidnapping, it depends on what we want to do with them. But we'll go figure it out.
Good. We'll arrange your payment for when you return.
Half now?
Yeah. He seems convinced enough that he's willing to partake in that, so he gives you all 50 gold each.
Appreciated.
Ko just leans over to Afai and's like, nice.
Does a miniature high five under the table?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have anything else you wish to ask him before he leaves?
Can I get a bottle to go?
And the barman again gives you a very strange look, but walks over and sits a very dusty-looking bottle on your table.
Well, at least if a vampire bites you, they'll get drunk or something.
Could I do a insight check?
He seems to be being mostly honest with you. There's nothing really that you immediately suspect of. You can tell that you're probably being paid a lot less than, it would cost to send out a proper hunter down to find out where the hunter's gone, but yeah, you don't really mind it that much. You are being paid fairly decently considering how many of you there is.
Okay. How far is this village and how are we getting there?
The village is about maybe 2 days ride in a carriage, but he'll pay for the carriage there. There's no stops in the way, it's just a simple straight trek. He'll leave in the morning. You probably get there by midday the next day. It's a long journey, but should be okay.
And of course, meals and all that will be provided.
He sort of hums and haws a bit and then says that he'll send a rider with you that will inform the inn that they'll pay for your lodgings and some food.
Kristoff, you're too kind.
Well, if this venture turns out good, I think we'll do another venture for you if you've got something else lined up.
He tells you that's fine. Seems relatively interested, but tells you that he's more just, as long as you basically tell him what happened to his friend, he'll be fine with it. So the next morning, you all arrive in this cart, and you do travel for an entire day. It's quite an exhausting travel, but you eventually arrive on the sort of just into early evening on the second day. It's been a very, very long trek, but you have arrived. Ahead of you is this massive looking, it's like a sort of keep castle, like a sort of single, not a sprawling castle, but like a sort of single keep castle that's got massive, like one of the old metal doors that looks like it would withstand an army trying to invade. And underneath this castle, and a small path sweeps down from the castle to this tiny looking village. And what you can see in the village is there's a town square. There's an obvious inn. There's the town hall. There's the stable and blacksmith where you're at now. There's the castle itself. And there's the graveyard. And as you arrive, you have the option of visiting, for your first choice, the castle, the blacksmith stables, the town hall, or the inn. Where would you like to go?
I vote the inn.
I think I'd either say the inn or potentially town hall, because theoretically if this beast hunter was called to help the town, they would at least know if and when he arrived.
Town hall.
Sounds like good reasoning to me.
Okay. So is your final decision to go to the town hall or go to the inn?
Town hall is our final decision.
You journey from the stables down to the town hall building. It's obviously one of the older buildings in the village. Looks like it's been here for quite a while. And as you approach the doors of the town hall, you hear a heated debate going on the other side of the door. And as you gently push the door open, you see two older-looking men and a younger man having quite a loud argument. The only thing you can hear from where you're standing is they're wondering if someone called Bill is a problem. What do you do?
I watch an amusement.
Okay. You can just all listen to the conversation if you want for a while before you interrupt.
Avi would listen in, see what we can find out.
Okay. You find out that the younger man seems to be quite diplomatic. He seems to be kind of he's doing as a service. He's doing the Lord's work. One of the older men, a sort of brash man with a moustache and a bald head, is very adamant that Bill is a problem. He punched my wife just for saying good morning. Seems very angry, very agitated, very problematic. The third man, who's also quite old, is sort of sitting back and listening to both sides and going, well, what would be best for everyone else? Do you wish to interject at this point, or do you wish to see where the conversation goes?
Keep listening.
The young man says that vampires are slippery creatures, and only a trained few will be forgiven in the eyes of the Lord. If they, go out and kill someone. And the big fat man is just doesn't matter. He punched my wife. He's an uncouth moron. Doesn't even do his job. He's been here a month, doesn't do a damn thing. And the third man is just going, well, he's doing a good job. All the people seem happier that he's here. Stop. I mean, he has cost us quite a lot of gold. People need to learn that they can't just talk to him. I mean, look at the incident with Mr. and Mrs. Goggins. He shot the bastard! Well, yes, he did shoot him, yes, but he did anger Bill. He's a menace. He should be kicked out of town. Well, we have paid him, and maybe he'll come through. I mean, he gets closer and closer to killing the vampire with every day. That's not the point. The point is he's still here. He's a bloody disgrace. Don't know why we got him in the first place. Well, people do, like to see the fact that we're showing an interest in resolving all their problems. Very few people are trained and allowed to do this. I mean, we couldn't just get a young man off the street to do it. I mean, one of those young delinquents, their soul would be damned forever if they were to kill, and Bill, at least, has got the church's blessing. I could just shoot the bastard. Well, Ernst, if you shoot him, then your soul will be damned. And my soul would have blood on it as well for letting you. That's no excuse. And the big, bald man sort of starts to storm out towards you, and he realizes all of you are there and goes, "Who are you?"
A couple of damn souls ready to help.
Is this your doing, Jacob? And the young man looks at him and goes, No, I did not send for any more. Good evening and welcome to our town. I assume you're just new arrivals. Don't mind Ernst there. He's just leaving, aren't you, Ernst? Bastard child. He walks out. So it's just leaving you, the younger man, and the older man that seemed to be a lot more quiet. What do you want to do?
Not to be too nosy, but what's up with Bill? Why'd you hire him? What's going on?
Oh, Bill, we needed to hire Bill, you see. We've got a vampire problem. And, you don't want to damn your soul forever getting blood on your hands. I mean, torment is forever. I mean, the good Lord told us that.
I believe if Tempest were to damn my soul, it would be for more than this.
Yes, but could you live with the sin of killing another human being? Or maybe even a monster, I suppose. But he must have started human once. I mean, look at his form. Vampires aren't born, they're made.
Killed a lot of people, and I could continue to live with it.
Then you're a stronger man than I.
Perhaps we can help you with the problem of Bill. I mean, we were already looking into the vampire situation.
Well, what do you say, Uwe? The older man goes, Well, it would be good to the people if we were seen to be taking an interest in their health by hiring a bunch of people to assist with Bill. And the younger man goes, We can't afford to hire any more people. We've just paid Bill a fortune. We can't pay them any more. Yes, but think on how people will look at this. They'll think of us as wonderful people that are actually caring for their mental health. But Bill is a monster. He's going to be gone a while. Yes, but just think of it. Everyone will think we're doing the best.
Question. If we can get rid of Bill, could you give us his pay?
Ooh, that's an interesting one, Jacob. What do you say? I've already mentioned my piece that, you can't just get rid of Bill. Bill needs to kill the vampire. That vampire is a menace. And we can't just, let any, delinquent come in and kill. And if the vampire does die, then we do have to pay Bill the half he's owed.
It sounds like Bill is as much of a menace as this vampire you keep speaking of.
Well, you see, Bill's not... How do we word it, Uwe? He's not a man of the people like I am. Yes, let's go with that. He's not a socialite, is Bill. Bill's he works alone. He's Well, he's been sitting up that tree now for nearly a month.
So, in other words, Bill's kind of a jerk.
Well, most of the hired help really is, especially ones from the main city down the road.
Sounds like you need better help.
Well, we could do with a bit more help, but we can't really afford to hire anyone else, and we don't get much tourism anymore. And, we thought maybe Bill might bring something in, but all he seemed to do is cause a rift between us and Ernst.
Well, I, for one, am not too terribly upset with a lack of payment. I mean, money's great and all, but this sounds like a pretty fun challenge. It sounds like some people could be helped along the way.
Oh, young people willing to help. I mean, Jacob, if they're wanting to help for free, then we must embrace them with open arms. Uwe, I don't think we need to embrace them. I mean, if a stranger walked into your abode and said they were going to help you, you'd at least ask a couple more questions. No. They're here to help, Jacob. We will tell them we're here to help, and we'll tell all the people that we've got their best intentions at heart.
Jacob, you're the one that's been sending the letters.
Oh, you found my letters, yes. I'm the one that, He looks at Uwe and back and says, I'm the one that writes them. And Uwe goes, yes, he writes the letters for us. He sends them off, and he does it ever so well. I dictate them, you know.
We were sent here by a man named Christoph in the town down the road. He said that he sent another man named Wilfred a few weeks ago. What became of him?
Wilfred. I've never heard of a Wilfred. Jacob, have you heard of a Wilfred? No, I've not heard of a Wilfred, no.
Something tells me Wilfred and Bill might know each other.
Well, if you do find who this Wilfred is, we'd be appreciative to know. I mean, Bill just seemed to come out of nowhere.
Ko just kind of looks at the rest of her party and she's like, did you guys get what I just... They might know each other, like, maybe like Bill is Wilfred?
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay, cool, good. Just want
I
to make
think
sure.
yeah. Yeah. We do realize that if we find out that Wilfred is Bill and we kill Bill, then, we might have to answer to Christoph.
Well, figure that out later.
Solid plan, Ko.
So what tree is this Bill / Wilfred hiding up in?
I still don't know who this Wilfred is you're talking about, but it's the tree in the graveyard that Bill likes to, sit in, I suppose. Children have started calling him the Angry Bird.
Ka.
Yes, according to Bill, it's the best place to get a shot at the vampire whenever it leaves the castle.
So he just sits in the tree and waits?
Well, he used to just sit in the tree and wait, and now, basically what happens is he sits at the tree and then occasionally shouts at one of us.
Sounds pleasant. Why doesn't he just go into the castle?
Well, we tried that on the first time he got here, but he can't get through the door. There's something about the door being reinforced or something. He says that the best way to kill the beast is to kill it by surprise.
Well, nothing's more surprising than a bunch of people coming barging in your front door.
Yes, but apparently this vampire's quite skittish. It won't open the door to Bill. In hindsight, it's not really surprising. It is Bill.
Let's go pay Bill a visit.
Well, I wish you all the best in our town, and if you can help that little Bill problem, it would be appreciated.
Alright then. I guess we'll be off.
Okay. The next options of building available to you is the castle, the inn, and the graveyard. Where would you like to go?
Inner graveyard.
Where did they say that the tree was?
The tree is in the graveyard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I agree with going to the inn first, personally. But I'm cool with whatever anyone else wants to do.
Let's go ahead and get situated from what Christopher or Christoph, whichever one, get situated from what he said we were promised, and then we'll go head over to Caca Boy.
It's getting close to midnight at this point. You push your way inside the inn, which is the largest buildings in the village. Behind the bar itself is a early 40s, quite well-endowed woman, shall we say, who seems to have looked like she's worked there a long time. Sitting around the bar itself, you see a couple of patrons sitting around, drinking together, discussing things. There's a sort of quiet murmuring going on everywhere. So, what would you like to do?
Let's go up, get our rooms, get settled.
Okay. You go up to the barmaid. She's very just happy to meet you all. She goes, "Hello there. I've been sent a wee man in 3 minutes ago, said that you want some rooms and food, so we've got them ready for you. Just tell us when you want them."
Splendid, thank you, my dear. May I have your name?
Of course you can. She sort of bows a little bit to you and she says, "My name is Fräulein Zartarita Tootsie."
That won't do at all. We need a different name for you.
I mean, I
What's
think it's
wrong
a
with
great name.
Zartarosa? It's me mother's name.
Yeah.
It's too complicated for me to remember. Right, did that food and stuff come with alcohol at all?
Oh, if you want alcohol, that's fine. I'll be getting that for you, no problem. You just take a seat over there.
Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
And it's a pleasure to meet you too. What are you doing in our small village then?
Vampire hunting.
Oh, I see. You like that Bill character?
Only in that we are also after the vampire.
Hope you're
Doesn't
not as
sound-
mean as that Bill.
Nor up
used
in a
to-
tree.
He used to stay here in the inn. Well, I say stay in the inn. He stayed for 2 days, and then when I asked him for gold, he told me to shove it. Says he should be staying here for free. Well, I said, I can't have you staying here for free and feeding you. He said, well, fuck you too. And he went and lived in the field. Keep getting letters for him, but he won't come near me, bastard.
Would you mind if we took those for him?
Oh, welcome to them. I've been using them as firewood.
If you don't mind, I could always give them back for the fire.
Oh, that's fine.
Did you notice anything in particular about Bill other than, anger issues?
Well, apart from being a total bastard, not really, no. He turned up, complained that he didn't have any proper bed, complained he didn't have any proper food, complained that he had to pay for his room, complained the only working out girl I've got is Brumilda and she charges too much. I mean, what does he think I'm working for? I mean, I didn't make myself a working girl for 40 years to get through this shite.
Yeah, sounds like he, belongs out in the field and not with other people.
Well, you see, the villagers don't like him either. I mean, look at Ferdinand over there. All Bill does is complain to him. You look over and there's a man you recognize vaguely as from being from the stables before. He goes, Bill just goes and shouts at him every day. Says he's overcharging him. It's not his fault Bill can't hit a barn door at 50 paces.
The more time goes on and the more we hear about Bill, the more I kinda really wanna smack him.
Screw smacking. Can we just kill him already?
I say let's go talk to the poor guy that he keeps berating every day.
Okay. There seems to be two men sitting at the table. One of them is the one you got sort of gestured to. The other one seems to be a sort of middle-aged man in sort of very muddy clothing.
Before we go over there, Avi would ask the bartender, was Bill always such a dick, or did that take a few days?
Oh, well, when he first came here, he was fine. Turned up, and then he started yelling at people. Something about they keep making him miss. He started yelling that they're taking gold from him. And every now and then, you hear him shouting, and you just don't really know what to do about him really anymore, but when he first arrived, he wasn't as bad.
And did the yelling start after he visited the castle?
Oh, he's been obsessed with that castle ever since he came here.
Did he go straight there, do you know, or...?
Oh, yeah, he went straight there. Apparently couldn't get inside, though. He'd banging on the door, and then he was trying to use his something lock-picking thing, didn't work. Then he came down trying to buy some black powder stuff. That didn't work either.
So it sounds like the door is magically enforced and not mechanically enforced.
Maybe an odd question, but did he always call himself Bill?
Oh, I don't really know. We've just always known him as Bill. I don't know who introduced me to him as Bill. He got very angry when I said to him, "Oh, Bill, I can't do this." He started shouting at me, saying his name wasn't Bill.
You've
Did
been
he...
very
Sorry.
helpful. Thank you.
I was just gonna ask, did he say what his name was after he said not to call him Bill?
Oh, I don't know. He just sort of went, "My name's not Bill, you bastard." And we were just like, well, fuck you too.
Interesting. Thank you very much.
There seems to be a lot of fucking, but no pants dropping.
Ah, you'll be after Brimhilda then. She's a bit expensive. Well, I say a bit. She's far more expensive than I ever got in my day. In my day, you'd be lucky to see a shiny coin. Nowadays, she wants 200 gold. But every man that comes down the stair after, he's got to look at him like he's seeing the Lord himself.
If you're getting quality, you've got to be willing to pay.
Well, everyone I ask, I say, "What's she done up there?" They just look at me blankly and say, "I can't tell you. You know me years. Never seen men like it."
And how long has she been in your employ?
Well, she just sort of turned up one day. She's a mute, you see. She don't talk. And I said, "Are you a working girl?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Brilliant. Well, we need a girl after, well, we used to think Astrid would be the next one, but poor girl's a little bit emotional, shall we say." And yet at this point you hear a from the back room. "Oh, bloody hell, I've set her off again. You be quiet, woman. Get back to cooking." Sorry about that. She's a very emotional little girl. But, yeah, Brimhilda just turned up one day and she slid a bit of paper across and said her price was 200. I asked, "Does that include, that?" And she just looked at me blankly and said, and she just pointed to the thing that said 200.
And about how long ago did she pop up?
Oh, must have been about, now you put it, about 6 months ago.
Have she and Bill had any interaction?
Oh, no. She looked at Bill, and Bill looked at her and winked. She blanked him. He didn't like that.
She sounds like a good judge of character then.
Oh, yeah, she does very well for herself. Oh, and the problem is that, well, being a mute, don't really talk much. Hang on, we'll bring her in here, I'll let you meet her. She just walks aside and goes, "Brumilda!" And this massive, 7.5 foot tall, basically like your epitome of an Amazonian woman, just walks in, looks down at all of you and goes, "Got a couple of people here, they just wanted to say hello." "That's right, yeah, she says hello to you too. We got no one else for you tonight, you might as well take the night off." Walks out again. Lovely girl, just wish she talked a bit more.
I understand not wanting to talk. People are difficult.
Oh, that's what I used to think. I mean, working girl 30 year. Used to be up and down them stairs. I'd be lucky if I make 15 gold in a night. And Brimhilda wanders in, makes 200 of one man. Weird thing is that we occasionally get a couple of men just turning up just to see her. From out of town, like. The last one was a real weird bastard. He said he'd seen her in a dream. When he had to come see her for his person. When he went up the stairs, and he came back down, and the look on his face after, Jesus, I don't know what he saw, but, oof. Apparently she was worth it, put it that way.
Must be good services if they're coming from out of town.
Well, you're not going to get much service around here if you're charging 200 gold a time. I mean, most of the people in here, 5 gold's a lot to them. And I mean a lot for them. When I was a girl, I charged 5 gold for, that.
It's okay, dear. You don't need to mince your words around us.
Oh, it's not so much mincing me words, as I don't want to pretend that I'm still in the game, as it were. A lot of people here would be very interested if I was. So I don't pretend anymore. And somehow she seems to pull a hip flask from somewhere on her person and start swigging. You have no idea where it came from.
Just casually trying to see if the dress has any hidden pockets. Where? What? Okay.
Oh, she's got a hidden pocket, all right.
couple hidden weapons too.
I'm sure.
Aliquid would be examining the flask as she takes a sip or chug out of it.
As you sort of show interest in her flask, sort of goes, "Oh, you wanting some?" She sits it on the table in front of you.
Sure, why not? He'll grab some and take a sip.
If you roll me balance.
I have 1 in balance.
Yep, you chug it back, your feet get wobble under you, but you manage to hold your footing. You literally feel your entire throat almost close fully, and you find yourself wheezing. She goes, "Ah, that's good, isn't it? Puts airs on your chest."
Some of the best stuff I've ever had.
Oh, that's lovely then. And just 2 seconds later, she seems to have pulled another hip flask just from nowhere, and be swigging away at that while you're holding one in her hand. "You keep that one then. Best compliment I've had on me stuff for a while."
No problem, from one drinker to another. I'm always free to drink.
I suppose we've taken up enough of your time for now, but we'd certainly be glad to talk later if you'd like.
Oh, that's fine. You just come back whenever you want to talk to me. I'm always a wee chatterbox, happy to talk any time.
It's been nice to talk to you. Did we want to go over and speak with Frederick?
Yeah, let's go have a chat.
So you walk over, and as I said, there's a middle-aged-ish man that you recognise from working at the blacksmith, and there's a man he seems to be talking to, wearing mud-covered clothing.
How you doing there?
He sort of looks you up and down and goes, "Oh, I'm fine. What I saw you getting in not long ago. You be needing any, thing for horses or anything?"
Not necessarily for the horses, but we've been hearing a little bit about Bill and his,
Oh, don't talk about that bastard with me. He was back again today, bitching and moaning, saying the arrows I made him weren't right. Bastard. The other guy who sort of sitting at the table goes, "He is a bastard at all. He'd be stopping on my crest the other day. Bastard's got no decency for plants."
does sound like a right old bastard from what everybody's been telling us. What was he meaning with the arrows? Does he not know how to shoot?
Oh, he said something about, that first of all it was that the tips I was using wasn't proper silver enough for him and it wouldn't kill a vampire if he did hit it. Then he started complaining that he thought they were made of lead and that was the reason he kept missing his shots, and then he was saying I was charging him too much, and bastard. An old bastard. Just 'cause he couldn't hit the fucking barn door.
It sounds like he doesn't really know what he's doing there.
He claims to be some big shot from town. Well, I mean, I know he shot Mr. Goggins, but it wasn't really a fair duel.
Well, even with the arrows that he was having you make, if he really wanted to try and do some damage, he should be equipped with some holy water, but I guess not. Guess he missed that day of orientation.
I used to ask him advice on things like that when he arrived. Shad spoke to him now. Bastard.
Did he give you some bad advice or just generally regret speaking to him?
Oh, just every day he comes in and I'm like, "All right, Bill," and he goes, "My name's not Bill." And then it's always on a bad foot you start, and you're trying to be nice to him and give him a good deal, and he claims you're extorting him, and I'll be glad when the bastard's gone.
When he says his name's not Bill, does he ever tell you what his name is, what he wants to be called?
No, he just shouts, "My name's not Bill." Has he ever told you his name, Melchizedek? And the older man sort of strokes his beard a bit and goes, "Now you mention it, no. He just sort of goes, "My name's not Bill." And every time you try and talk to him, he just gets angrier and angrier and angrier. And then that thing with the children, when they just start to shout, calling him Bill the Bird, he didn't like that at all. Very angry.
Well, we kind of heard he's been perched in a tree, so I guess it kind of
Oh
fits.
yeah, the children find it hilarious, but
I would
rest of
too.
us just want rid of him.
Well, he sounds just generally rude and unhelpful.
We'll all be glad when he's gone.
How's your vampire problem been since he's gotten here?
Well, there's still the dead animals turning up. They're just turning up a lot less often.
How exactly are they coming in dead?
Well, they're sort of bled out, if you know what I mean. Like all the blood's been taken from them.
Like a knife wound, a puncture wound, a
Well, they've sort of
break-in?
been. It happened with one of my horses, really. One of them was almost bled dry. It looked like a small incision in the neck. It's weird. It's like something drained all the blood out of it. We used to think it was a vampire, but since Bill's been here, admittedly, horses have been safer. Then again, if you go near him anymore with anything sharp, they kick you in the face.
So it looks like a cut.
Aye, like a small incision,
Hmm.
thinner than a knife.
And how often does that happen? Animals showing up dead?
Well, before Bill turned up, we found a lot of dogs and rabbits and stuff like that had been left and bled dry. Since Bill arrived, we've only really had 2 or 3 horses go, which was a lot better. But the last time I checked my horses over, one had a really bad gash in his neck. So I've been setting the boy a guard them every night now. No, it's a evil thing having a young boy out there looking after the horses, but you know, we can't really take the risk anymore. Horses are more valuable.
Maybe some night while we're in town we can take the shift. We're pretty interested in this whole thing. And if we can do a better job than Bill and be less of an ass about it, then consider that a plus.
Well, you see, Bill's just sort of stuck in his own self, really. Never seems happy.
Is there anyone at all that he talks to that he doesn't get angry with?
Not really, no. Well, none I've seen, anyway. You seen anyone? And the older man goes, No. Don't talk to anyone. Sits in his tree. Yells at the children. Bastard. The barmaid sort of tells you, oh, best not to go out the night. You might as well take your rooms and get some sleep.
Sleep better with a bottle of alcohol, please.
You don't need a whole bottle. And she, again, seems to pull a hip flask from nowhere and goes, you have a little bit of that. That'll send you to sleep, no problem.
We'll take
It
the
is
flask to his room.
All right. I guess we'll be going to bed for the night then?
What's the room situation like? How did we get set up here?
You've all just got very small individual rooms. They're cozy enough. Too quiet enough. The only room that seems to not be yours seems to be the one for Brimhilda, which is heavily locked.
Avi would suggest that we all meet up in one of the rooms to kind of discuss what we think's going on before we go anywhere else.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay, so I imagine you've all met together in one of the rooms. I'll let you discuss away.
Well, this certainly is an interesting town.
That's one way to put it. So, Bill is definitely Wilfred, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking 90%. There's still room for him to be someone else, but
But if he came here to the town originally and was calling himself Bill, but now all of a sudden he's saying he's not Bill, was he charmed or screwed with prior? Because it didn't sound like he didn't get fucked with until after the cast visit.
Do vampires do, like, possession or anything? I don't really know anything about the whole magical dealio, but it sounds something spooky, so sounds like a vampire.
Is it possible that the whole town could possibly be charmed?
at this point we have to consider everything. Nikolai, is there anything we could roll to see how much we would know about vampires in general, or...
You basically know that vampires typically don't come out during the day. They don't seem to like steaks or garlic or silver. It's just standard stuff, really.
And there haven't been any reports that we know of anyone coming out of the castle.
You've not seen anyone come out of the castle, but you do know that Bill has been basically watching the castle for someone to come out.
So what are we thinking? Do we go see Bill tonight? Do we save that for tomorrow? Do we kind of wander around, see what happens at night around here?
I think we should save it for tomorrow.
And just say to you that you are sort of locked into this time slot for the inn. So the next time slot available to you will be in the morning anyway.
Ah, got it.
Just before you get our elaborate plan.
Yeah, I suppose our best bet at the moment would be to get some rest, maybe see if we can overhear anything or strike up another conversation downstairs if there seems to be anyone that might know something, but sleep is, admittedly, unfortunately, important. Usually.
It seems like Bill is usually hanging in that tree majority of daytime too, so deal with him, and I guess depending on how that whole confrontation goes, maybe do some scouting around the castle area, see if there's any type of tracks or something that'll give us more information.
Yep, if there's anything mechanical to get past in that castle, I should be able to handle it, but magical is another issue.
Speaking of mechanical, did you happen to get a look at the locks on her door?
Of course I did.
It speaks.
Do you think you can get into them?
Probably.
Got a lockpick I could give you if you need it.
Now I have a lockpick. I ain't no noob.
So which room are you trying to get into?
I have no idea. Dante's the one that brought it up.
Was curious about the locks in Brunhilde's room, seeing it being the only heavily locked door.
Okay. You can go and try and open it if you want.
Why exactly do you want to get into her room, Dante?
Wasn't necessarily curious what's in the room, but how to get past the door.
You could always knock.
That's true, you could always knock.
Why knock when you could just break in?
Because I don't particularly want to explain why I'm breaking into a prostitute's room, or a consort, or a lady of the night, however you want to put it.
That's easy. There's 2 explanations. 1, I was looking for you. 2, I'm curious what was behind the very locked door. And 3, are you available?
All of which could be rectified by knocking and seeing if she answers.
And if she didn't answer?
Then you're welcome to try and pick the lock to your heart's content. I mean, really, you can go do whatever you like.
How about this, Dante? If you try to get in yourself, and you can't get in, and you can convince me to help you, then I'll think about it.
I actually had an idea for later when we were walking around for things to look for, and I was just wondering if you had got a good look at the locks, in case we run across similar designs elsewhere.
Would I need to roll for that, Nikolai, or can I just... Or Nikolai?
They just look like simple locks. There just seems to be more on them than usual.
Okay,
So
yeah.
maybe 3 locks rather than just the usual one you'd see.
So are we off to bed then? Or do we want to discuss our theories more?
I say off to bed and get this going.
Agreed.
Oh, I did have one other thing that I thought to mention. Do you suppose it could be possible that there never was a vampire? Maybe it's someone or something else doing this?
Keep all our options open.
I think it would require us to go possibly see if the dead animals are around or not and see exactly what type of laceration, incision, punctures going on. Because it could be one thing, it could be another thing, could be somebody just acting out with a knife.
It's a good point, though. Just because everyone screams vampire doesn't mean that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, he said that the animals get worked up over any sharp objects, but don't vampires usually just go in with their teeth? So it's not necessarily, like they pulled a knife on them if it was a vampire. I would assume they just got a good old chomp in there and went to town.
Unless it was a vampire with very sensitive teeth. He'd have to use the dagger to get into the blood quickly and then sink his teeth in.
Yeah, he's got table manners. He uses knife and fork and tucks a napkin in his shirt. All right.
Let's have some proper etiquette before I dine on this fresh brew, please.
That was all.
It's a good point.
Goes to sleep. He doesn't take a drink of the flask that was given to him. He takes a drink of his flask.
Okay, so you all head off to bed. You all rest. So your options for the morning are the castle, the blacksmith stables area, the town hall, the inn, and the town square.
Aw, no graveyard?
There is nothing happening in the graveyard at all.
Ah.
Do we want to maybe take a walk through the town square, see what the people are talking about, meet some new people? Or do we want to hang around at the inn a little bit longer, double check the town hall, or...
Would it be in our purview to get a good look at the castle in the daylight?
Same time too, while we're walking, if we do go through the town square area, there's a possibility of more animals turning up.
Yeah, we should probably ask before we leave to see if there's any news of new attack.
That's true. So, town square then?
Is the town square, is that going to make it easily accessible to go scan the castle area? Or is that in a completely different area?
It's in a completely different area, but the town square is the sort of area outside the inn. It's around there's a sort of massive fountain in the middle of the village, and there's a couple of small stalls, and usually a couple of people wandering around in the morning.
Do a morning look around and then go do an afternoon castle look?
Sounds pretty good to me. Talk to some maybe nice people in the morning, speak to Grumpy Pants, and explore the castle.
Okay. So you journey downstairs, you inquire if there's been any new attacks. The barmaid tells you that she's not heard anything, but check back later and she'll tell you if she's heard anything. And you send out of the inn into the town square. There's a couple of markets that look like they're selling, basic food, there's a lot of turnips being sold. It seems to be the main selling crop here is turnips. You notice the sort of muddy man that you spoke to last night seems to be with his own stall selling, it looks like a variety of vegetables, and there seems to be a lot of cress. You notice the emotional woman that you had a sort of silent discussion with in the inn the night before seems to be walking around examining food and picking things up into a basket. And you notice that the older man from the town hall seems to be standing on top of a box telling people to come hither. He has things to pass out to them that everyone must have. What do you do?
I say we go see what the old man has.
I'm down.
Seems like a good idea. Where to start?
Okay. As you get closer, you see a small crowd is gathered round him, and he goes, friends, we've got a great thing for you. We've just arrived this morning. We did our research into vampires, and we found that vampires don't like cloves. So we've bought cloves for all of you. And everyone just really goes, and he starts giving out these small, wooden bowls full of, cloves. To each person, yes, take the cloves. Take them everywhere, mind. The vampires hate cloves. What do you do?
So, vampires don't like garlic? They don't like cloves? Must have bad taste buds.
Hey, quite to be honest, I don't like cloves either.
No one really likes cloves. But I say we try it just in case.
Sure, couldn't hurt. I mean, it might. We'll find out.
Each of you sort of walk up and you get your small, wooden bowl full of cloves. He goes, yes, new friends, these are people we brought in to, help you all. They are going to help deal with how bad Bill's been to the rest of you. They're going to address this threat. And everyone starts looking at you with sort of, oh, great, just enthusiasm and just kind of happy to sort of look at you all, and they shake a couple of your hands and they wander off. But after you've done this, you notice that the older man is just very obsessed by just encouraging villagers to come in and get this small bowl of cloves each. So after you've got your cloves and you've been sort of introduced to a couple of villagers, effectively, they just seem to be effectively covered in mud, shit, and other such things that farmers are usually covered in. You sort of lose interest in the old man.
As the attention turns to the group, Ko just awkwardly tries to pat down the fluff of red hair on her head, just oh, well, alright. That's a lot of people looking over here. Cool. Awesome.
Avi is giving bright smiles and waves and shaking hands. Very much a person of the people type.
Afia's over there giving a shit-eating grin. Bill's a dick! Bill's a dick!
A lot of people join you in chanting Bill's a dick. And so somewhere in the distance you can hear a sort of very thick accent go, my name is not Bill.
Then what the fuck is it?
Ko also joins the chant.
I would join the chant as well.
Avi's actually gonna wander over towards where the voice came from.
You just heard it in the distance somewhere. You're not really sure where it came from. It's somewhere in the town square. You hear this sort of one single distant chant with some sort of very thick voice just saying, "My name is not Bill."
Okay, so she would go try to find the source, but assuming that she doesn't, she'd rejoin the group.
Okay. You wanting to examine any of these stalls or talk to the old man or anything like that?
I will go up to the old man. He's the one handing out cloves, right?
Yes.
I think I'll go up to him. So, where did you get this information that cloves are the answer?
Well, we researched it, you know, we contacted a few sources, and Jacob recently had a letter arrive from one of these places, and it says, cloves are good against vampire. So we ordered in the cloves at quite an expense, but no expense is spared for my people.
Did they say cloves in general, or cloves of anything specific?
Looks at you. His smile hasn't wavered at all. He goes,
It just said cloves, but cloves are good against vampires.
Okay, just because they could also maybe have meant cloves of garlic that also comes in cloves and.
Oh,
But,
no,
I mean-
no.
No?
It's just cloves. We've done research. It's just cloves. Don't
Okay.
anybody mind her. She's just clarifying a few things. Don't worry. It's cloves. Cloves are good, everybody. Take your cloves.
Yep, sounds good. Okay. And she just kind of like gives a smile and a wave and walks away. Just like, all right, okay, cool. That's that.
"Okay. Do you want to do anything else at this location?"
I want to look for a stall of alcohol.
Actually, no, there is one. There's a stall of turnip wine.
Better than nothing. My flask is empty and it needs to be refilled. We will
Okay.
go down to the stall.
They give you a small bottle of turnip wine. You taste it. It tastes absolutely rancid, but it's alcoholic.
I'm gonna get 2 more of these.
It'll be 2 gold pieces for 3 bottles.
2 gold for 3 bottles.
Yep.
We will hand them 4 gold.
Okay, they give you 4 bottles of this very strange turnip wine. It looks almost sort of yellowy in colour.
Holding it, he will go back to the group.
Okay. The more you drink of it, the more you just have this general strong smell of turnip about you.
Well, that'll be fun to travel with. So, you guys, do you want to go chat with anyone else? Maybe talk to the guy we met last night? We never got his name.
As a player, I'm stuck between wanting to interact with everything in front of me and kind of wondering how much of it's a wild goose.
That's a big mood.
Let's go interact with everything in front of us then.
Okay. So you go and look at the sort of the man you met the other night's stall. As I said, it seems to be a couple of vegetables, and the majority it seems to be cress. And the sort of mud-covered man looks at you and goes,
Ah, you again, right. You want to buy some cress?
Sure. How
Fresh
much
cress,
is it?
good cress. I grow it myself.
Sounds like the best cress.
Very wet cress, good for you.
How much for some cress?
you give him a gold coin, he gives you a fairly large, like, pile of cress.
Cool. I'll just add a pile of cress to my inventory. I'm sure that'll come in handy. Thank you. It looks wonderful.
Okay. Any of the rest of you want to do anything with the stall?
What exactly is cress?
It's a very small green herb.
You eat it, or
I mean, vampires seem to have a thing against spices, so maybe he doesn't like cress either.
Yes, let's all bathe in the cress.
Let's make a bitch of pizza.
All right, you got a bunch of that in your pocket. Good job.
Heck yeah, I'm an accomplished adventurer.
It's
I mean-
fast growing, so it may grow out of your pocket.
That's the adventuring goal, right? To have a pocket full of cress.
No pocket full of sunshine.
Don't
It's-
you dare.
It's treasure,
I will.
like instead of treasure. Okay.
Moving on.
Puns, so many puns.
We spoke a little bit last night, but we never really got your name.
He sort of looks at you and sort of quite confused and goes,
Melchizedek.
It's a good name.
Yes. What is
So-
yours?
I'm Ko.
Hmm?
Pretty short and simple, just Ko.
Oh,
Can-
right,
Yeah.
right. Is
We
it
can,
of a religion or region or...
No. It was originally something long and complicated, but Ko's shorter and easier to say when you're in a hurry, so.
Easy.
Yep. So, what sort of interactions have you had with Bill? You chimed into our conversation last night a little bit, but.
Treads on my crest.
Ah. See.
I tell him, no, you don't stand on my crest. No. He stands. I have to keep it wet every day. I have to water it with fertile soil. But still he stands on my crest.
Well, we're planning to go talk to him later today, so we'll stand up for you to him for standing on your
Good,
crest.
good. He won't listen to me or anyone here. But he might listen to you.
that's very depressing.
that was terrible.
You know, I try my best, and then you come in with one of those. Color me in crest. Okay, we should move on, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
As it gets into the sort of early afternoon, your next choice of location is the castle, the blacksmith stables area, the town hall, and the inn.
Go look at some castle.
Yeah, I guess that's the only place on the list that we haven't been to yet. Oh wait,
No,
we
we
haven't been
haven't.
to the stable.
Yeah, we haven't been in the blacksmith stable.
Oh,
He might be
yeah,
able to give us more information on the kind of wounds we're dealing with.
That's true. The castle seems very final.
Well, I'm not meaning to actually go into the castle. I'm talking the outskirts.
That's true, but once we're there, we'll be there for several hours with the
Yeah, with the
time
time blocks.
Gotcha. Okay. Stable
There's
then?
no
Castle?
reason. There's no reason that we can't go there and then go back later.
That's true. It's just how we want to use our time.
Yeah. The way that it's set up, it seems like time may be important.
Also, it kind of seems like Bill went to the castle and he came back a little screwed up. I feel like we might want to be a bit more prepared for whatever might be there. He only went up to the door, he didn't even get to go in.
Right.
Good point.
Shall we vote?
3 of us are talking about the other males.
Come on, dudes.
Talk!
To be fair, I've talked a lot already.
See,
Yeah.
this is why women get a bad reputation. We don't want to do all the talking. Y'all just won't.
You've been talking about alcohol, baby. You ain't talking about nothing else.
Well, I'm not 21 yet. I have to get there somehow.
Listen, man, I'm not either.
Okay, so it looks like our major choices right now are castle or blacksmith, yeah?
Blacksmith, only because it isn't the castle.
Good. Dante?
Agreed.
Co?
Sounds good to me.
Afia, any objection?
Nope.
Off to the blacksmith.
Okay.
Yeehaw!
You come back to the blacksmith stables, and as soon as you get outside, you immediately hear an argument inside. And as you also get closer, you notice that the horses in the stables are very uncomfortable with you getting closer. As you come around the corner, you hear a very thick accent go,
You charged me less yesterday. Why is it more now?
Well, Bill, you see, I haven't charged you yet. It's the same.
It was cheaper yesterday for the same things. You're trying to extort me again. I'm trying to kill your vampire.
Well, Bill, you mean, we are trying. We're doing what we can.
It is not Bill. My name is not Bill. My name is not Bill. Where did you people get this name from? I'm not Bill.
Well,
Oh.
Bill, you see,
Don't call me Bill, you bastard! Just stop overcharging me. I'm going to kill your fucking vampire, and then I'm going to be out of this fucking hellhole. I'm sick of you fucking people!
and as you look inside, this man in a long leather coat storms past you with a look in his face like curdled milk. What do you do?
Hi, not Bill.
He's just angry. He's not responding to you. He's just like, I hear his muttering.
Of these people, I am sick of their stupid agendas. I am sick of them distracting me. I'm going to kill this fucking vampire.
Can you, though?
He stops and he looks at you and he goes,
See when I don't have you people talking at me, shouting, Hey Bill! Whenever I'm trying to take a shot, I will kill that fucking vampire.
Question. If your name isn't Bill, what is your name, Bill?
My name is Wilfred, not Bill. How
Called
many
it.
times do I have to tell you people my name is not Bill?
Well,
Okay.
technically, you haven't told us at all.
he
Yeah,
sort of looks
Avi's
at you and
gonna-
tilts his head a little bit like he's not sure, he hasn't seen you before somewhere.
Avi's gonna get up close to this guy and just kind of like you would do to a startled horse, just kind of like put the hands out, like, let's take a breath here. Hi, my name's Avi. This is my group. We were sent here to come check in on you
By who?
by Kristoff.
Ah, fat old man. What does he want?
Well, he's worried about you. You haven't checked in for a while, and honestly,
How
it seems
can I
like
be
maybe.
expected to work in these conditions with these people? Do you know why we didn't come here? Look at these people. Scum!
If you don't like working here, then go. Leave.
Need the monies. I'm a man of principle. I was hired to kill the vampire, and I don't let anyone escape when I have my target.
Well, they seem to be more charging you than paying you, don't you think?
Yes, but the creature, I see it. It must be killed. I'm on a man with a mission from God. I'm going to kill that vampire.
And I don't suppose you're going to allow us to help, would you?
You can help by keeping these scum out of my face while I try to kill the vampire. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them every day, their chirpiness. Every single day. Idiots. Don't leave me alone.
What have you learned about the vampire?
It lives in the castle. Only comes out at night. It seems too skittish to deal with people, that's why it preys on animals. Every time I get close, one of those bastards comes near me, chirps at me, makes the vampire notice me so it runs away before I can kill it.
And how often do you see the vampire?
I watch every night. Usually about every second night it travels out trying to get somewhere. I knew I would have killed it last night if it wasn't for this scum mischarging me.
In the background, you, Bill, I didn't.
Just shut up! Done with you. Done with this whole village.
If you're done, then leave.
No, I will kill the vampire. I will kill it if it kills me. I don't care what happens now. I will kill this vampire tonight. I don't care how many villagers get in my way. I don't care what else happens. I am going to kill the vampire.
Now, Wilfred, have you considered that if you're less of a dick to the townsfolk, they may stop getting in your way?
I've lived here a month now. Every day they are chirpy and get in my face and be like, "Hey Bill, want a sandwich?" And I'm like, "Fuck you. Don't even learn my name. Don't learn my king. You leave me alone." I've told them. I arrived here and said, "I work alone. Please tell your people, do not bother me." What do? They hold a parade. They put "Welcome Bill" in big letters in the town square. Now all these fuckers think my name is Bill. And they keep drawing attention to me, thinking that it's some kind of game to look at Bill while he works. Fuck you, and fuck this village, and fuck the god.
Hey, Bill, have you been inside the castle?
No, I can't get inside. I've tried many ways. But I do have some black powder left. I'm going to... Well, let's just say if I don't get my shot tonight, I'm going in the morning. I will blow that place sky high if I have to. The vampire will not see tomorrow.
You tried knocking. I hear that works.
You knock on the door, the vampire taunts you. It starts screaming, "He's out there! He's going to get me!" And you're like, "Fuck you. Can't get in to kill you if you stay behind your door." I miss the old days when vampires would taunt you for days, but then would do a real fight. I miss those days.
That sounds less like taunting. I mean, to me personally, completely untrained, to be fair, and a little bit more like fear for his life.
Pleading?
He's a vampire. He has no sense of fear. It's all taunting, all mind games.
How do you know that he has no sense of fear?
I have hunted vampire for 27 years.
You've hunted
They're
them?
all the same, all alike. They don't have emotion. They don't have fear. All they do is mocking laughter. And you shoot them through the neck with a silver-plated arrow, and they scream and bleed.
And have you considered that maybe this isn't a vampire?
Of course it's a vampire. Why else would they be killing all these animals?
Maybe it's not the one that did it. Maybe it's what he's afraid of.
Yeah. Look at that horse. And he points to the horse behind you, and you see, look at its neck. It has a small incision, same size as a vampire's tooth. It's a vampire. I admit, a crap vampire. But it's still a vampire.
I suppose you are the expert.
Is that the only proof you have that this is a vampire? That it
It's
bites
scrawny
animals?
and spindly, like the old vampires from the old country. I've not seen one in a long time, but I'm pretty sure it is a vampire.
And in your vast experience, is this acting like the vampires you've hunted the last 27 years?
Yeah, as I said, it's a coward. It's not like any vampire. It does not have the... what you call it in your language? Gusto.
It doesn't
That
have the
you
veins.
associate with most vampire.
But you just said that all vampires are the same.
Yes, but this one... it seems to like hiding.
Well, if all vampires are the same and this one is different, then are you sure it's a vampire?
I am sure. When I have put my mark on it, it's going to die, vampire or not.
Question. Have you considered better lessons in archery?
He sort of draws his crossbow and points it towards you.
Do not mock me. I will end you like that Mr. Goggins. He pointed his thing at me. I shot him through the eye. Fuck him. Fuck this village. I'm done.
And he just starts walking away.
Hi, Bill.
My name is not Bill!
He just storms off, just looking like an angry toddler.
God damn it, Aliquid, I just got him calmed down.
Oof. I don't think we're going to be getting the information we need from him.
No, but we do know that he plans on blowing that castle tonight, so if we have any hope of saving anything that may be innocent in there, assuming it's not a vampire.
Hasn't he tried gunpowder before?
I think he has, but I don't know, maybe he just wants to try again. Try it in a different spot. Either way, I think that our best course of action whenever we get the chance, personally, may be to just try and speak with this vampire, or quote-unquote vampire, which makes air quotes in the air.
Tonight or later today?
I think maybe the earlier the better. For now, who wants to take a look at this animal?
Casually checking my animal handling score, which I think is 0.
Would it be animal handling? I have no idea.
Only one of you has any points in animal handling. It's the person with 1 point in animal handling, and that is Aliquid.
Oh, that is rich. And take a look at the horse.
Okay, you going to look at the horse?
Yes, I assume I have to roll for animal handling.
Yep. The horse kicks you. But where does it kick you? That is the question.
So I have to roll another one.
No, let me just roll and I'll consult a chart on the other one.
This is my favorite part
12.
of penance.
12 is in the right arm.
Oh, my drinking
And
arm!
what happens to your right arm? 15.
It broke.
Loss. The horse kicks out very suddenly. You hear a sickening snap. Your arm is snapped off at the elbow. It's hanging loosely by a couple of tendons.
Dude, what the fuck?
No, a doctor?
So he has quite a lot of blood, like, pouring everywhere as his arm is literally hanging off by threads.
Frederick is the one that runs the stables, right?
Ferdinand, but yeah.
Or Ferdinand, sorry. Hey, Ferdinand!
Oh, bring him here.
And he runs over and you hear a,
This is gonna hurt.
and then there's a sickening and Aliquid screams as you look over and he's had his arm cauterized at the elbow.
Ah!
Yeah, I think he'd be good for some of the turnip alcohol he's got now.
Liquid, you'll pull out the flask that the barmaid gave him earlier and drink as much of that as possible.
Okay. He slugs it back. He is swaying side to side, but at least he doesn't feel how bad his arm is. As he's sort of looking down and seeing that his right arm stops at the elbow.
Well,
Who else wants to try? Is there something less alive we could examine?
Ferdinand sort of looks at you quite confused. Says,
What were you doing approaching the horse? I warned you, don't go near them. Something's got them spooked.
Bill has them spooked.
Well, the idea was to get a look at the wounds.
Oh, I see. Let me try.
and he sort of walks towards one of the horses, very, like, arms open. Like, the horse looks very unhappy, but lets the blacksmith take the reins, and he leans the horse one side and says,
I can't let you get close, but from this angle, can you see?
and he turns the horse's head, and you see this massive, like, wound that seems to have a sort of pinpoint in the middle of the neck, and there is a still trickle of blood coming near it.
I'm no professional, but aren't vampire bites too close?
That's what we thought. We asked Bill. Bill says it's still a vampire. What else would drink the blood like this?
I must have been using a straw.
maybe he lost one of his tooth. Maybe he's a baby. Baby vampire only has one tooth.
Is this wound something that a humanoid would make, or is it bigger or smaller?
From what you can see from where you are, it looks about maybe half an inch across. So it looks about the same size as one tooth. But it looks like it's probably gone a little bit deeper than a single tooth could. But from where you're standing, you can't really tell much.
Oh, maybe he's part giant mosquito. It's a proboscis.
Yeah, the more we learn, the less sure I am that we're dealing with a vampire here. Anyone know of anything else that drinks blood?
I'll drink blood if there's enough alcohol in it.
No one accused you of being intelligent.
Would that be like a Arcana or a religion check
For what, sorry?
for the finding out more information of vampires or what would you say exactly, Heather?
Other creatures that would drink blood.
Other creatures.
That would be lore or religion. Or nature. I'll give you nature as well if you roll high enough.
Okay, I guess I'll give it a shot.
Nothing that you're really familiar with. I mean, it could be werewolves for all you know, but werewolves tend to leave far more bite marks than this and tend to be a lot more savage. This looks very distinct.
So Ivy would say is, all I can tell you is it's probably not a werewolf.
Well, it could be a crazy person, just a regular person that's, for whatever reason, drinking blood. I don't know. Some people think it, like, makes them stay young or something. I don't know. Or it could be just someone draining the blood, not necessarily drinking it, trying to cause a stir.
Are there any tracks or any evidence that we could gather around the...
There's no real sign. There's too many people have been walking around, and with all the sort of stable area, the horses are so panicked that they're moving a lot as well, so they've kind of obliterated any tracks.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do here, or would you like to move on to the next location?
I'd like to find a hospital.
You've got about as good as you're gonna get, my dear. You're stable. You'll live. Maybe you'll learn something.
Yeah, I think we've got about as much as we can out of here, at least for now, unless anyone else has anything else they want to do.
No, I think you're right.
As good as it's gonna get.
Okay.
Is there anywhere else we want to investigate before we go up to the castle?
Your choices for the next location are the castle, the blacksmith, the town square, and the graveyard. Though if you want to go to the inn, you could.
Do we think it would do us any good to talk to Wilfred anymore?
No.
Does anyone want to go back to town hall or town square for any reason?
There's not really anything on the town hall at the moment, but you could go to town square if you wanted.
I think our best bet at the moment is just try to see if we can communicate with this supposed vampire.
Any objections?
Nope.
Off to the castle then.
Okay. You leave the blacksmith and you begin to trudge up the rather steep hill to the castle. As you approach, you find that outside there's hundreds and hundreds of crucifixes being nailed into the ground. It's not just crucifix, it's like any religious symbol that could possibly be even remotely relative has been nailed into the ground as well. It looks like the villagers have basically tried to block the vampire in using crucifixes. But as you get closer, you realise that at least 2 or 3 people have walked through the crucifixes, so you don't know how relevant they really are. As you get up to the main door, you notice to the side of the door are 2 what looks like discarded old buckets that seem to have traces of blood inside them. And as you look at the door itself, you notice there's several significant weapon marks and blast marks. It's like something has definitely tried to break its way in but not managed to. What do you do?
Knock on the door.
Okay. As you get close to the door, you see the door open, and a sort of very scrawny figure pokes his head out, looks left and looks right. It looks kind of like a very thin old man. But he might be in his late 40s, early 50s. Doesn't look that old in comparison, but he looks really malnourished. And as you see him, look sort of like he takes one step towards you, notices you, freezes, and in the distance you hear, "Hey, Bill!" Chink! And this arrow shoots and misses him by literally millimeters. He squeaks really loud and runs back inside, slamming the door, and you hear something inside hyperventilating.
We'll knock again, but this time say, I got booze.
Can everyone do me a awareness check, please? All you can hear through the door is the sound. It's like an old house creaking, but creaking really loudly, and a panicked voice saying, "Okay, he's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill me. I'll go later. I'll go later. He's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill me. I'll go later. I'll go later. Please, please, just back off. I'll go later. I'll go later. He's trying to kill me." And you notice the arrow that literally missed this figure by a millimeter is still shaking in the wall, and in the distance you hear something very, very irate screaming, "My name is not Bill."
Okay, so we need to split the party, and a couple of you need to go stop him while I try to make peace with this guy.
If we can just talk to this guy like through the door, then maybe slip in, maybe he doesn't have to come outside, I think it'll be okay. Seems like the village is distracting Bill plenty.
Either way, I'm the one with the booze, so I need to get in there somehow.
Nobody wants your booze but you.
Hey, booze is a very peaceful offering.
I think this particular gentleman would be more interested in safety.
Gotta get in there to offer the booze first.
Want to see if they want some cress?
Yeah, he seemed hungry. I was gonna offer.
Go for it.
Alright. I'll go up to the door and I'll knock as well. And just kind of call. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to help if we can. I have some cress. I don't know if you'd like it or not, but it's fresh and it looks wonderful.
You still hear the voice literally. It sounds like the voice is literally leaning against the door on the other side, just literally like hyperventilating, just saying they'll go later. And please, please, I just need more time. Please, please. I'll get it. Just please, more time.
Sir, we're not here to hurt you. We promise. We just want to help. We won't make you come outside if we can just come inside and speak with you. And maybe we can smooth this whole thing over.
See if there's any reaction from inside. You hear the voice slowly slow down, hyperventilating, saying, Who are you? Who are you?
My name is Ko. My friends and I are here to help. We've
Help?
heard...
Have you brought the blood?
The what?
Have you brought the blood?
No. What do you need blood for?
I need the blood. I need the blood. I need the blood tonight. I can't wait.
I've got an armful of blood right here.
Sir, if you can let us in, we can talk about this, and
No,
maybe we can help you.
I can't open the door. He'll kill me. He'll kill me. He's watching. That Birdman's watching me.
Tell you what, if you stay on that side of the door and open it while you're on that side of the door, we can slip in.
No, the Birdman will get in. The Birdman will get in, and then it'll all fall apart. Everything I've worked for. The Birdman will get me.
Alright, okay, just calm down. Take some deep breaths. What blood do you need and why?
I need the blood. I need the blood. I need the blood now. Time is short. Do you not understand? I need the blood.
How much blood do you need?
I need several buckets. There are buckets outside. Can you fill them with blood?
Possibly. Why?
I need the blood. There's no time. I need the blood now.
I mean, I can wait until you tell me why, or you don't have to have the blood at all.
You don't understand. We don't have time. None of us have time. The blood. We need it now.
I'd like to understand, but I can't get the blood until I understand. I'm sorry.
Listen. You hear the something inside creaking really loudly. See? We have very short amount of time. We need the blood. We need it now.
How tall are the walls? And is this a traditional castle? If I were to go over a wall, would it be open?
It's traditional walls. You look up. The walls seem to be about maybe 10, 15 meters high.
Are they smooth walls?
They're smooth. At the top, they seem to have a couple of anti-ladder rivet kind of things that you get on old castles, but apart from that, they seem fine.
Who or what's in there with you?
Can you not hear it?
Oh, I hear it.
It needs the blood. If we don't get the blood, we're all doomed. All of us. I need the blood. The Birdman doesn't know. He won't let me out of here.
So you need several buckets of blood. Does
Yes,
it matter? Does it matter what kind of blood? Animal
I just
blood?
need blood. I need it.
You look at the buckets outside, they look like they're about 50, 60 litre buckets. They've all got crusted, dried blood at the bottom.
So you're feeding something?
I just need the blood. Just get the blood. Get the blood. We don't have time.
Is there any sort of... I know someone already did this earlier, but I can't remember exactly what you had them roll. Is there any sort of insight check or anything like that that I can make to see if he's being sincere? I mean, I'm assuming he is, but...
What could we roll for that? Go for intelligence.
Okay.
He seems crazy panicked, like too panicked to be lying about something.
Alright, that's what I figured. Just turn to the rest of the group with, like, a look of, oh, what now?
I don't think I heard him lock the door, so you could force your way in, or up and over?
Guess we could just offer ourselves to be the bucket fillers to find out what the hell's going on in there.
We're not going to fill those buckets enough to come out alive if we offer ourselves.
Well, I'm not saying for us to do anything, just say, well, how about we just come in? We can just offer ourselves up and then just deal with whatever the fuck's in there.
I don't think talking's working on him.
Well, it's worked a bit. We at least have some answers. Some more questions, but some answers.
Not necessarily implying talking.
Question. Was there any livestock for sale in the square?
No. You didn't notice any livestock, and when you asked one or two people about this, they said that since the animals have all been ending up dead, they don't sell any animals. They don't want to be feeding a habit.
Is there any wooded area nearby or anywhere we could try to hunt for an animal?
Not really, no. You do know that there is definitely some more livestock than just the horses nearby, but it's very much out of town. It seems the only things nearby are like the horses people have to like
Well, there
plows
goes
for.
plan A. Alright, so I guess the question is, are we going to force our way in now? Or do we want to come back later?
I mean, when we look at this door, do we hear boss music or not?
All you hear is a very sort of still slightly panicked.
Definitely sounds like boss sound effect to me.
Fight, fight, fight.
I would suggest going to talk to the town leaders again, but something tells me they won't be willing to give up a couple of horses.
I mean, honestly, a couple of sheep, a cow, a pig, anything would work. But again, I think you're right. I don't think they're going to be easily giving anything up.
This seems to run a bit deeper than just a little vampire problem.
We also have to consider time, it seems.
Yeah, that too. But I'm not sure if forcing our way in will do much good. It seems like the answer right now is blood. It's just a question of how to get it.
Can I strength check this door to break it open?
You can strength check it, yeah. It seems very, very well barricaded, but you can definitely try. Natural 1. You try and break your way through the door. You end up bruising your knuckles.
Shakes her hand. Yep. That's what I deserve.
We could always go up and over the wall.
You look up and you notice that it must be a sort of slanted roof at the top.
Hey, dwarf, climb that.
Dwarf! Oh, get your other arm ripped off.
Question for the party. Is Wilford right or is Wilford crazy? Are we with him or against?
Crazy.
I don't think he's right, but I also don't think he's crazy. I think he really does think that this is the vampire, and that this skinny, frightened man is the problem, but I don't think he's correct in assuming that. I mean, he is also a little crazy, to be honest, but I think he does truly believe that this is a vampire.
Especially with all these buckets out here. It is still dealing with blood orientation. It's just as to what exactly is wanting this. Yeah, it's speculation that it's a vampire, but
Can we all agree that this is not a vampire situation?
Yes.
Unless it's like a guy feeding a vampire situation, no.
So honestly, I don't think a vampire that's strong enough to threaten the entire town would be counting on this weak little man to get his...
So what do we want to do about it?
I think we need to get him some blood, personally. I don't know what you guys think.
I'd like to say claim the wall, but it is majority vote for this type of D&D game.
Question. He came out before because we knocked on the door. If we knocked on the door and said we have blood again, could we just not rush him?
That's an option.
In fairness, he did come out just before you knocked on the door. He just opened the door and was just making his way out when you came up to knock, and then the arrow just missed him and he ran back inside.
grab some buckets, put some cloth over top, be like, hey, we've got it here.
Better wait a few hours, though.
I just don't think that we're going to get any more information out of him. He sounds terrified. It's like he can't say anything else. I think even face to face, it's just going to be the same. He's just going to be frightened.
Well, no matter what option we choose, I think putting Wilfred under a citizen's arrest might not be a bad idea.
That's true, but how?
I have manacles. He doesn't suspect us.
You right. I got chains.
Getting him down would be the hard part. Locking him up would be easy.
I have a bag of feathers I could beat him down with.
Keep that shit away from me.
And what about the rest of the town? How are we going to... Well, I mean, theoretically, if we do end up trying to get some blood, how do we get it? Do we just go and hope that they're willing to give up some livestock, or...
Could we offer them Wilfred?
I don't think he's worth 13 gallons.
Besides which, I'm not committed to killing him just yet. He's misguided, but I don't think he's bad.
Agreed.
Yeah, and he seems more like he's full of hot air more than anything.
Maybe while we're here, we should search the rest of the grounds of the castle, see if there's anything we're missing, any back doors, and any hints.
May as well.
Okay. You spend the next little while looking around the grounds of the castle. There's not really much here. There's one or two more doors in, but all of them seem to be like heavily barricaded from both the outside and the inside. It's as if someone has like nailed boards across them so they can't open, so only one door could open to the outside.
So maybe our next move is to go back to town and see if we can get them to give up an animal so that we can try and get inside.
Maybe an animal or two. That's a lot of blood.
We could go back to town for a little while, not kill an animal, and come back with empty buckets.
I just don't think that... Personally, I don't think that's a good idea. Because he must be afraid for a reason. He must be in such a hurry for a reason. If we come back with no blood and we get in and we find some big, monstrous, blood-sucking creature, I don't know if we will be able to stop it. At least not without a little bit more help.
So,
If we can't stop it, is feeding it a good idea?
no.
you're right.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you your options for the next location and you can decide what you want to do then?
Yes, please.
Okay. Your options are to stay at the castle, to go down to the inn, which as you look down, you notice a lot of people seem to be. It looks like a town meeting has been called in the inn. And the other option you can go to is the graveyard.
So go scurry him out of a tree or go to a town meeting.
I feel like it may be worthwhile to see what's going on with the...
I don't hear any objections.
Town meeting.
Okay. You make your way back down from the castle and you head towards the inn. You notice a lot of people are inside, and as you enter, it seems very, very busy. It seems that most of the village is gathered together. In front of it is the sort of older man, the older sort of town hall, and he goes,
Right, everyone. I've been told that everyone wants to have their 2 cents about Bill. So I'm going to ask you all, and this is the only time we're going to have a public forum, because Jacob isn't here to waste your time. So, I'm going to open the floor, and everyone can say, is Bill actually worthwhile keeping around, or should we just tell him to go away?
So as you sort of sit in the background, you hear a lot of people sort of stand up and basically say, Bill insulted me, Bill doesn't treat me right, Bill just yells abuse at me. At this time you notice the bald, mustachioed man from before, and he's sitting at the side and he's got this look in his eyes just like, whoa. And he's frantically trying to tell the older man something, and the older man keeps going, no, Ernst, I have no interest. What do you do?
I think we should maybe try to talk to this man that seems to have something urgent to say.
Okay.
Maybe divide our attention. Some talk to the man, some listen to the town.
Okay.
I'd listen to the meeting.
Okay. As I said before, the meeting is mostly just a lot of the villagers saying that Bill's a bad influence. Bill should be, kicked out of town. They don't really want him around anymore. He's outstayed his welcome.
I'd like to speak to the man personally.
Okay.
If that's okay.
As you walk over, he's got an aura about him of someone that's just literally had their mind expanded, and he's just frantically trying to tell them,
But you have no idea what I've seen. It's undescribable.
and the older man's going,
Yes, Ernst, yes. Of course, undescribable. Now, everybody, if you please just vent all your anger about Bill. We're listening. Shut up, Ernst.
Ernst? Is it?
the bald man looks at you and goes,
Yes, what?
sorry,
Yes, you ask, what are you looking for?
Well, I'd be quite interested in hearing what you have to say, if you'd be willing to tell it to me.
I can't tell you. I must tell you that the maiden... You have no idea. My mind is... Oh. Everyone says 200 gold is expensive, but... Oh my God. You have no idea the sights I've seen.
At this point, you hear the door get kicked open from behind, and you hear
I did it, you bastards!
and you see Bill walk in and throw a body on the ground, and it's this malnourished old man with an arrow through its eye, and he goes,
See, I killed your vampire. Now you know what? Fuck you. I don't even need the money. I'm gone. Bye.
and you
That
see-
isn't a vampire. That is an old man.
You watch as Bill turns round and walks towards the stables as everyone is going,
He killed the vampire. That's the vampire. We've seen him. That's the vampire.
What?
I'd like to block his exit.
what do you want?
What vampire is this?
It's the vampire, the one that lived in the castle. Look.
He points towards the castle. The castle is now hanging. The door's like wide open now.
You see? He came out of there. I shot him in the head. He's dead. He's not going to bother anymore, and these villagers can keep their gold. I don't want it. I've avenged my thing, I've kept my tally. I've killed my mark. I'm away back to the town to rest up for 3 weeks, and then I'm back down to the proper vampire hunting that I do best. Fuck you all!
And just walks past you.
You're a fucking idiot. Look at that corpse. That is no vampire.
That's my target. I was paid to kill it. I'm not judging. Goodbye.
Shouldn't he be burning?
At this point, it's late evening. At this point, it's literally about, very late evening at this point. So, at this point, you watch Bill literally just stop caring as he just continues to walk towards the stables, and everyone around is just like aghast that Bill has finally killed this creature.
I'm gonna go over to the body and turn the body over and examine the mouth.
Yep.
What type of teeth we got?
Do a nature check. Unless there's anything... No, nature check will probably cover it.
18.
18, okay. You look at the teeth. The teeth are a little bit elongated, but there's no signs of blood. The smell in the breath doesn't smell like blood. It smells of anything of oats.
Nothing protruding, no sharp points,
No.
nothing matching the horse.
No. You do notice that on the hands is a sort of... It looks like ingrained blood, like a deep redness in the hands.
What's the word? Grab the group's attention that's able to see and have them come over and examine the body as well.
Okay. At this point, the old councillor goes,
Well, it seems that Bill has finally been useful, and he's going to leave, so everybody can go home happy. Oh, you know what? Let's have a shindig. You know what? The drinks are on us tonight. Everybody go and get sausage.
and everyone cheers and just starts like running at the bar and just grabbing drinks and throwing them down as the barmaid's going, "Here, you be careful."
I would be with the crowd grabbing drinks.
Okay.
I think we need to back to the castle, if that's an option.
Yeah, we need to find out what this moron just fucking unleashed upon this town.
The only options for the next location is the castle or the town square, and this will be the morning after.
Yeah, I think we need to get to the castle.
It'd be the morning after, though.
Yeah, well, at the moment you're about 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and the first one, basically, the next slot would be at 6 a.m., so yeah, it's not as if you'd be out for too long.
I'm just worried that we won't get there before whatever it is gets loose.
Yeah.
I say go now.
Well, we don't have an option to go now.
You have an option to go at the next possible time, as near as you can get.
I guess we may as well. If it's not there, maybe we can at least get a clue of what it is. Where to find it next.
Okay. You go into the castle?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way up to the castle as literally everyone else in the village is cheering, dancing in the streets, singing and drinking. You head up. The door, as I said, is wide open. There's a large blood stain on the wall. It looks like whoever it was shot, was impaled to the wall with the first arrow, and then staked. What do you want to do?
Did I go with the party, or did they leave?
Despite the fact that you could have got lots of free drink, you were dragged by the party behind the rest of them.
Do we go in balls blazing, or do we try and sneak around?
Balls blazing.
We basically walked around and checked the area, and it's all boarded up. So this is only entrance and exit.
Maybe sneak in balls blazing.
That I'm fine with.
Can if you want. You walk in through the main door. Inside, behind the door, there are several large discarded buckets, again with the sort of dried blood at the bottom of them. They're all about the same kind of size. And a small corridor leading to a small room As you walk inside, you see a single chair sitting in front of a fireplace that looks like it's just kind of gone out. In front between the chair and the fireplace is a very moth-eaten rug. There's a table to the side. On the table there seems to be a large bag of oats that looks like it was stolen from the stables. And there seems to be a bowl with a half-eaten thing of porridge and a couple of handfuls of cress. What do you do?
He does like cress.
We want to try and light the fire in here.
You can if you want. There's a couple of lumps of wood nearby. It looks like the fire is literally just gone out, so it's still quite warm.
Yeah, I'll throw a couple logs on there.
Okay.
Use my wand and cast fire on the logs to light the fire.
Okay. So you cast a small fireball on the logs. Fire roars back in. All of you feel slightly warmer than you did.
So that's all that's in the room that we're currently in? Just
Yep. All that's in the room that you're standing in is there's a chair. The chair, as I said, there's the rug, there's the table, there's the bag of oats, there's the small bowl of porridge, looks half-eaten, some cress, and as you look around the room, you realise that every other exit seems to have been barricaded by like all the furniture that must have been left in the room. It seems that he was terrified about something else coming to get him at night.
Do we want to unblock one of the doors and see what we find on the other side? Or do we want to explore this room a little bit more?
My only question is, where the fuck is he using the bathroom?
Ew.
Well, that's the thing. It's supposed to be a castle, so this is just one room of many, as far as I know.
One room and all the other doors are boarded up.
So it's the main entrance. It goes to this one offset room, and then everything else is boarded.
Yes.
Not boarded, but barricaded with furniture and the like.
Gotcha. Then, yeah, we're gonna have to tear apart one or two of them. I don't think we want to split up the party, but
I'm just wondering if we've actually got an hour worth of story left. Like, how much of this are we missing?
Probably a
Yeah.
lot, if I know Nikolai and listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Probably.
that's kind of why I'm trying to do the whole chaotic thing. Let's push it. Let's go. Here, let's try to break that door. Nope.
That's why I wanted to go over the wall. I would have opened the door.
Well, you should have went.
But everybody
Well,
pushed it
he
on.
said that the roof was slanted. I took that to mean that we couldn't get over, which is why I didn't push to go over the wall.
Right.
Alright, so we're gonna start tearing through this castle, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Burn this bitch up.
Sounds like we're gonna take down some of the barricades and see what we find on the other side.
Okay. You take down some of the barricades, and it takes you quite a while to dismantle them, but they seem to have been very hastily put together. It doesn't take a lot to dismantle them. The other side, you just find very cold, empty rooms. Doesn't seem like anyone's been here in a very long time.
Is there a bathroom that's been boarded up?
Nope, you do notice one of the buckets in the corner. There's a very foul smell coming from it.
I think we'd just keep going until we found something interesting or nothing at all.
Yep.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to just keep looking through the sort of cold rooms of the castle?
Are there any signs of tracks or anything?
Literally, there's like a thick layer of about an inch of dust pretty much everywhere you go after the barricades. It's like no one's been here for years.
I might run back to the first room real quick, and I'd like to check if there are any hidden mechanisms in the wall or underneath the chair or the table or the...
Roll dungeoneering or tinkering. You check all the walls, there's nothing there. You check around the fireplace, there's nothing there. Nothing seems hidden around the walls anyway. When you look around, you start tapping random stones, but nothing even triggers from that.
Anything under the rug?
You lift the rug and there's a trapdoor.
Hey guys!
Yay!
Yay, we are smart.
So,
He knows that I like puzzles.
you lift the rug, you find a trapdoor, you lift the trapdoor, there's some stone steps leading down.
I'm gonna light a torch.
Okay.
Wanna go down?
Yes?
Yeah. On the way down, I'd like to keep an eye out for traps, just in
Okay.
case.
You look around the stairs on the way down, there seems to be blood splatter all the way down these stairs. When you get to the bottom of the stairs, there's a massive stone sarcophagus.
Hey, Aliquid, why don't you push open the sarcophagus?
Sarcophagus.
Can everyone do me an awareness roll, please?
We did.
No, nothing there. Doesn't matter. Move on.
We don't see shit.
Well,
Obviously, there's nothing to see.
Do. There ain't no danger here. Do. Oh, fuck!
Okay, so pushing open the coffin, I guess?
Okay. You push open the coffin. Inside there is a very old-looking coffin covered in dried blood. Like, properly, like, caked in dried blood. At this point, all around you, you feel the house shake and groan really loud, as if the house is trying to move against something.
well, that's fun. I've heard the term if walls could speak, but not sure if I like this.
Is there anything inside the coffin that's in the sarcophagus, or does that need to be popped open too?
You can pop it open if you want. As you look closer, you realize it is in fact just open, but there's like such a thick layer of dried blood around it. It looks like it's, you know, that kind of velvet look that most, like when you see Dracula Castle, you kind of see this coffin. It's like that, but it's made of blood.
I'm gonna test something. We'll pull out some holy water.
Mm-hmm.
Just drop a little drop into there and see if there's a reaction.
Okay. Let's see what happens. You pour some in. After a couple of seconds, you sort of notice a small puddle has basically appeared in the bottom of the casket. Nothing happens. Can everybody do me a dex roll, please? Dante and Aliquid feel their feet being swept out from under them, and as the rest of you look on, they both seem to have been grabbed by long green tentacles and be swung around upside down.
Oh, holy shit!
The tentacles seem to be coming from one of the walls.
I don't like where this is going.
Turn the torch over to where I see the tentacles are coming out from.
There is one wall that's covered in soaked blood, and there seems to be about 9 or 10 tentacles just slowly writhing out of it, getting bigger and bigger the more they are making their way towards the rest of you.
Are you guys flame retardant?
I don't care! Kill the motherfucker!
That's fair. I'm gonna start hacking at him.
Alright, everyone that wants to start hacking, do me a strength roll.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
I have some oil. Could splash on there and just put the torch to it.
And set the whole room on fire with us in it.
Well, we've got an exit.
Fuck it, tiefling!
Burn, baby, burn!
Maybe see what Hacken does, and we'll save that idea for later.
Fine with me.
If you want to hack at it, do a strength roll.
Question. That's dual wielding swords. Is it just a 1 roll or a 2 roll?
Do 2d20 for dual wielding.
Boy, we are efficient here.
Well, Aliquid manages to slice to the one that's got him dangling upside down and lands on the ground with a very hard thud. Cole also manages to slice one in half, and the tentacle just lands on the ground, emitting a very sickly-looking green ichor. The rest of you don't seem to get much purchase on it, and you notice that the more you hack them back, the more tentacles seem to appear.
Right,
oil?
so... Yeah, we need to maybe free Dante first, but yeah, then fire.
I can slash at Dante's tentacle, then. Never mind.
Natural 1. Let's see what happens. Number 9.
The other arm! Yay.
That is left leg. Number 1. Loss. You attempt to get the tentacle, but as you do it, you slice clean through Dante's left leg, severing it from his body.
Stop moving, you damn dwarf!
So, as Dante is being spun round, his blood is fountaining out of him everywhere. What are the rest of you going to do?
Oh, good. I bet that's just great. That's gonna help us so much. Fantastic.
We're the limb losing party. I'm gonna try and hack at it now.
Okay. You swing, you don't hit anything.
I'll give it a shot.
Natural 1. What happens? 9 again. You slice, come down on your own foot, severing one of your toes.
God damn it! Fuck!
Again, swing at the tentacles, you don't get anywhere with it.
How large is this massive tentacle?
There are at least 8 or 9 tentacles now, and they're all about as thick as at least one of your legs.
Okay. Are they all pretty clustered together?
They all seem to be coming out of this one wall. The one wall seems to be about maybe 4 meters by 3 meters in space. They all seem to be coming out of this one area.
I would like to try to sling my chain over top of them and around them to try to sort of wrangle them down, see if I can get them to hold a little bit more still for...
Okay, roll.
Should I roll strength for that, or dexterity?
For a chain, be kind of like a whip, so dexterity.
Rad.
You sort of flick your chain on top of them. A couple of them seem to weigh down for a few seconds. They don't seem to be properly restrained by it. They look like they could just push back against it, but for this exact second, they are restrained.
Alright, and I'm gonna grab onto both ends of the chain and just kind of pull back with as much as I can.
Okay.
Try to weigh it down.
Do a strength check to see what happens. Yep, you managed to rip through 2 of the tentacles. Again, they're leaking this thick green ichor, which sprays all over where you basically decapitate through these 2 tentacles with this massive chain. At this point, you're all just being sprayed by Dante's blood.
Red and green, it's Christmas.
Speaking of Aliquid will take his wand and shard Dante's cut off leg. This will hurt a bit, dwarf.
Okay, roll. If anything, you set him on fire.
Should I say a
So
bit?
the dwarf is now burning and still spraying blood. The blood is slowly cauterizing, but, you know, he is on fire.
I'm not the fucking dwarf! Can I roll something to try and get myself?
Yep, roll. Do me... Just do a natural roll and we'll see what happens. Nope. You feverishly try and break your burning body out of this as you're beginning to feel quite pale and dizzy from being spun around upside down as your legs literally like pissing blood everywhere.
Somebody just burn the fucking thing!
Yeah, you want to try your oil idea?
I also have oil.
I also have oil.
Alcohol.
Okay, so you're just going to throw the oil at the thing?
Do you want to throw it or start burning it at the source of the wall?
Yeah, at the wall.
Roll.
What do you want us to roll?
What are we rolling? Flat D20?
Aye, just doing that D20 for the roll. Okay, the wall is covered in oil. What do you want to do?
Use the torch to light it on fire.
Okay. You throw the torch at the pile of oil that's on the wall. The oil immediately catches. You hear a sort of... and you notice the tentacles sort of pull back a little bit. As you watch the wall, you notice the blood drying faster and faster and faster. Eventually, the oil burns out. The wall is bone dry with this thick, dried blood. The ground beneath you begins to rumble.
Did Dante get released?
He gets basically tossed away as all tentacles seem to pull back, but the ground is properly shaking now.
Is he still on fire?
He's still on fire, yeah.
I'd like to use my wand and cast ice on him to cool him off from the fire.
Don't you fucking dare!
Roll. 15. Yeah, okay, you managed to put him out. If you had rolled low, you literally would have killed him from going from burning hot to freezing cold very quickly, but you rolled okay. The ground is now shaking very, very violently. What are the rest of you going to do?
I think we need to grab Dante and get the fuck out.
Yeah, we might be in over our heads here.
Okay. You pick up Dante and run, and as you run outside, you see all the villagers just lying around, drunk out of their skulls. And in the middle of the sort of town square, you see what's obviously Jacob in a deep blood-red robe. He puts his arms out in the air and he says, "Everyone, I bid you welcome.
Ibsako to our world!
And at this point, the entire castle behind you splits in half. This massive frog-like creature with millions and millions of eyes sort of rises from beneath the castle. It's easily several hundred meters tall. It begins to block out the sun. It seems you didn't save the world this time. A pity.
Oh, there's only one way to do it. I'd like to use my wand and cast lightning on the giant frog.
Fuck it, sure, roll.
Yay!
The giant frog just stands on you, crushing you to death.
I
And
take
thus,
else. I am happy.
I'm afraid, your story has ended. You have not saved the world.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well
So-
done, sir.
So, who are you guys? Where are you from? And where can people find you if they'd like to hear more of your craziness? The floor is now yours.
MFD9k. That's mfd9k.libsyn.com.
You are a bag of feathers. All right, we are Mystery Fantasy Dungeon 9000. We are a multi-edition D20 tabletop podcast. I myself am Dennis. I do the Dungeon Master stuff. You can find us pretty much anywhere you Google either MFD9K or Mystery Fantasy Dungeon 9000. Because it's such a rare name, Googling it makes it so much easier than giving you a big long website. We have a Discord that everybody's into. You can all go with all sorts of tabletop games, 5e Fight Club. We share podcast content. We help other people start up podcasts, bloggers, artists, just a growing community of other tabletop gamers.
Cool. I will make sure I put a link to your Discord in the description for this thing. So if anyone wants to join that Discord, the link will be in the description for this episode.
We also have a Facebook page,
And a Twitter.
so if you want to follow us on any social media, you can check those out under the same name.
Cool. As again, I will make sure those links are in the description. Thank you very much for indulging me for my Halloween thing this year. I hope you had fun, and we will call it there. So, good night, everyone, and
Bye.
Good night!
okay.
Good night, podcast.